I am back from a trip to Albany, and boy, did I get a lot of stuff here to show you guys, so stay tuned to find out what I got. Hey guys, welcome into another haul video here, haul video number 142. It's great to have you guys here, and yet again, a huge haul to go over here for you guys. So, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I did go to Albany this past weekend. I actually, at the time of recording, just got back with my fiance, and we both went up there for a little extended weekend vacation just to get away and to hang out there. She actually went to school there. So, we got a chance to see her old stomping grounds and got to, catch up with some of her friends as well from college. So that was really fun. But yeah, overall, it was a really fun weekend. We did a lot of stuff, ate a lot of good food up in New York there. Had a lot of crazy stories to share. I won't go into too many details about that, but yeah, it was overall really fun, definitely a relaxing time, and very much needed, I feel like. But on the side note as well, while we were there, we did do a lot of shopping. Got some stuff that we needed for the apartment, some other stuff too. But I did go ahead and go to a couple of comic book stores. I stopped at the Lego store up there, and also picked up a little bit of some Pokemon cards as well to show you guys. So we'll go through all that here today. I'll explain where I got everything as well. But yeah, the majority of the stuff is from that trip. I do have some other stuff here that I've gotten through Target, specifically with the Lego, and then let's see here, also through IST. I had a couple of IST orders come in recently, and I did order one book through Amazon. So I'll kind of explain where I got everything in the haul videos here. But yeah, without further ado here, let's go ahead and get into the sections of this video, starting as always with the comics. Alright guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this section here. So this is the comic book section here for this video. And before I get into my haul, I do want to talk about what I've been reading. So since the last haul video, I have finished Attack on Titan. I don't think I finished it by the time I did my last haul video, but I did finish Attack on Titan. Yeah, that was a great series. Really emotional ending there. I won't spoil it for anybody who hasn't read it, but for someone like myself who is not a huge manga fan, I really much enjoyed reading that series. Obviously it's definitely opened me up to exploring more mangas, or I guess more manga. I guess manga is not a word, but it's definitely opened me more to explore more of those. And yeah, I just had a really fun time reading it. It was a really quick read, almost 6,000 pages of material, I think, maybe a little bit over that, if my math is right. But yeah, it was just a great time. So again, like I said, anyone, definitely recommend watching that. And one of my fiance's friends, they actually came up and visited this past weekend, and she was a big, manga and Attack on Titan fan, and she did tell me that I guess the Attack on Titan series is coming to Hulu. I'll have to check to see when that's coming, but I definitely want to watch that. I've watched the first 2 episodes on YouTube, and I really have enjoyed watching those. I think they're very faithful to the source material. So I'll be interested to see if I can watch the rest of it on Hulu. Definitely would be a very easy way for me to check that out. So there's that. So I finished reading that, and then I've been kind of jumping around a little bit now. I read Camelot 3000, which is behind me there. You can see there in the corner. I've read that, really enjoyed that series. That was a really great series there. 12-issue maxi series on the deluxe hardcover there. Really enjoyed that. Michael Barr and Matt Boland, I want to say? Brian Boland, my bad. Just really great art, really great storytelling, very dynamic. And reading an oversized hardcover was just a treat to read. So read that, really enjoyed that. And then I kind of jumped back to some Marvel Cosmic stuff for a second. I read Infinity Wars, not Infinity War. I read that many years ago. Not really many, but a couple years ago. So I jumped back and read some Infinity Wars, which is, I guess, 2018, 2019 series, I want to say. It coincided with Jerry Duggan's Guardians of the Galaxy run. So that run kind of led up to this series. Basically, Gamora takes over the Infinity Stones from Thanos, and chaos ensues. And then you have Adam Warlock, and then you have like these mergings of characters. It was all right. It was a quick read. It was somewhat enjoyable. The art was fantastic. I can't remember who the artist was. I apologize there, but I thought it was all right. You know, it had the spirit of the Infinity books. You know, but something about it just felt missing to me. But overall, it was an enjoyable read. I'm not gonna say it was awful. So there's that. And then, excuse me. And then I just read some smaller things here. I read Colossus, God's Country. I actually think I picked that up in the last haul video, so I just jumped to that. I was kind of trying to pick something to hold me over until our trip to Albany, where I was bringing a bigger book with me. So I just read that 64-page book, mini story there. That was all right. It was kind of weird. It was a story about Colossus and this group that came to the United States to like destroy American civilization, and Colossus befriends this like farming group who he has like many, I guess, political arguments and discussions with about like the difference between Russia and the United States and how they're not that much like they don't differ that much. I thought it was a little weird. It felt like it kind of had an agenda to it, which I wasn't really a big fan of. I felt like that was a little weird, especially for like a miniseries from like the 80s, I would assume, or like maybe 90s, early 90s. At this point, Colossus has left the team for X-Men. So I don't think I've read to that point yet in my reading. I've read up to Omnibus Volume 4, and I don't think he's left the team yet. I think he leaves the team after Secret Wars, if I'm not mistaken, or shortly after that. Or maybe that's Kitty Pryde. I'm not sure. But yeah, I thought it was a little weird. I thought the art was okay, but definitely not anything. It wasn't like, oh my god, this is like the best thing ever, right? So again, kind of middle of the road for me there. And that brings me up to 6 minutes here. I do have one more book I want to talk about here, and that is the book I'm currently reading, which is The Sleeper Omnibus by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. So I'm about halfway down with the book. I'm about almost done with season 1 of the series, and then obviously season 2 has the 12-issue series as well. So I'm about halfway through the book. Really enjoying it so far. There is a mini series that opens up to. It's called Point Blank, and kind of explains like some of the background with the characters like Lynch and Tao and stuff like that. But basically the main point of the story is, there's this character Holden Carver, who's kind of he's basically a sleeper agent, hence the name, for this crime organization, and he's trying to find out information to take down this group of people who actually hurt one of his friends, Lynch, who's in a coma. He does go into a coma in the Point Blank series and continues to be in one throughout this sleeper series. So that's kind of like the main plot thread here. Again, I will say it did take me a little bit of time to get into the book. There is also this element of like these characters having powers, which I guess ties this all back to like the DC universe in a way. We get mentions of the Authority, which I know is like a group of characters from the DC universe, which I have never read anything of, but I know about. So there's these very weak linkages to the rest of the DC universe, but it very much stands on its own. Like, you don't need to know a lot of that information to enjoy this book, which I think is good. I can definitely tell it's early Brubaker Phillips, because Brubaker's a little wordy here, which obviously is not anything bad, but it's just it's different from what he does now. Like, he's very much the art more so speaks for the story, and that's a testament to Phillips, obviously, too. But I think once you get into the Sleeper series, that's where Phillips' art kind of gets ramped up a little bit more, and I can definitely tell it's getting better as the series goes on. So it is interesting to read this series now in hindsight, having read like everything that's pretty much came after this from the group, that creative group. But overall, it's a really great edition, and obviously, if it's still in print, I would recommend it to anybody that's looking to get into some more Phillips and Brubaker stuff. Which, to be honest, I think I have all that now, except for Night Fever, which I know is like one of their more recent released graphic novels. I had that on my IST wish list to pick up eventually, but for right now, I've pretty much all caught up at this point. So yeah, we'll finish reading that at some point. But 8-minute intro aside, that's what I've been reading this month. Hope to get into Captain Marvel probably the start of August is my plan for that. So for the rest of this month, I'm probably just gonna be jumping around reading some, books here and there, just polishing off some parts of my collection. But that's kind of where I'm at right now, so stay tuned for that. But anyways, we'll go ahead and get into this comic book haul here. So again, I did go to a couple places, and I do want to give some of them a shout out. So we'll start off with the first book here. So this is the thumbnail for this haul, and that is Batman Volume 8 by Tom King and Lee Weeks, I believe. Yep, and Tony S. Daniel. So yeah, I was at this store called Zombie Planet in Albany, New York. Really a great store, actually. If you're in the area, would highly recommend checking it out. They have 2 floors of stuff. On the first floor is pretty much all like trading card, Dungeons and Dragons, stuff like that. Board games, anything you can find, they pretty much have down there. And then the second floor, you go up, and they have omnibus. They have a whole shelf of like trade paperbacks, graphic novels. Everything that was up there when I went there was 25% off, which is not as competitive as like DSB and or DSBS or DSC. Oh my god, DCBS. Wow. Or IST or anything like that. But if you find something that's out of print or hard to find or stuff like that, 25% off is a decent discount there. They did have some out of print omnibus, nothing that I was too interested in, but yeah, it was a very good selection. So pick this book up. I know I checked earlier or later on Amazon. I could have gotten it for a little bit cheaper on Amazon, but I was in the store. I wanted to support the local business, like a comic book shop. So I grabbed this book, and this does fill in a gap of Batman that I have for Tom King. So I have now volumes 1 through 9 of the series, and tried looking up volume 10 today, and that's gonna be kind of hard to find. So hopefully I can get lucky at a store somewhere and find volume 10, and then I think there might be only a couple more volumes after that, but yeah, fingers crossed. But this collects issues 51 through 57 of Tom King's Batman. You can see here some artwork going on there. But yeah, just needed this for the Batman collection, so I think at this point I may just jump into a readathon of that. And I don't think, if I find the rest of the volumes, great. If I don't, I can always circle back to it and read it later. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that. So cool beans there. Next book I picked up here was some IST. This is another Captain America Epic Collection, shocker, that has been released, and went ahead and picked this up. And this is a really good chunk of material that I'm excited to read at some point once I do get into my Cap Marathon, which at this point is not too far around the corner. Since I have so much reading to cover, I may start this early 2024 because the movie's coming out in November of 2024, I want to say. I think it got pushed back. I think it was initially supposed to come out in May, but I think it got pushed back to November. Won't be surprised if it gets pushed back again, but that epic collection here is Captain America: The Secret Empire. Not to be confused with the 2016 series, The Secret Empire, I think is when that came out. So yeah, so this collects issues 160 through 179 of the original Captain America run. This is representing 1973 to 74. You can see here some really classic artwork on the back here. Cap stares into the heart of America and sees the secret empire. So some really great early Cap stuff. Englehart, Steve Englehart, Sal Buscema. I mean, what else could you ask for? I mean, Sal Buscema is, you know, definitely a great artist. Definitely takes a lot after his brother, John Buscema. This just looks like fantastic stuff to read. I'm really excited to get into this at some point. You know, this also does have some issues where I believe it was called Captain America and the Falcon for a little bit here. Yeah, I think even before this, it probably was renamed to that. I don't know the exact issue number, but yeah, really good stuff. We don't have too much more left to collect here, so I think the cutoff for me is probably going to be beginning of 2024 is when I'll start probably reading this, and then hopefully nothing comes out that interrupts these gaps that I have to go back and backtrack and read, but hey, we'll see. But yet again, another good Cap epic to have this shelf here, and now my Captain America shelf has now spanned almost 4 shelves, which is crazy to think, or 4 cubes in my collection here. So yeah, really nice to have that in the collection there. So we'll put that down. All right. This next book I picked up at Ollie's. So when I was in Albany with my fiance, we stopped at Ollie's on the way back one day, and picked up this book, Forever People by Jack Kirby. So I know this is part of his what do you call, Fourth World stuff. So obviously I don't have some of the other parts of this, but I did look at this, and it's I very rarely buy stuff for the art, for the creator alone, but this is Jack Kirby, you know, penciling and writing here. You know, I mean, just some fantastic artwork going on here. And to be honest, I really do like when Jack Kirby writes and draws, because you can tell he definitely opens it up for some bigger panels, definitely more dynamic art, not as much text, you know, some Kirby crackle, just really beautiful stuff. I mean, just honestly going through his stuff, reading through his, looking through his books, just make me want to like pick it up and automatically start reading it. It's just a very great art style, and I love it. So went ahead and picked this up. It collects issues 1 through 11 of Forever People, so that's kind of what's in here. So be fun to read this. Got this for $7, so that was a pretty good deal, I thought. All right, next book I got here was another book that I needed for my Captain Marvel readathon. And one thing I do want to keep in mind with this readathon that's going to add a couple books to the pile here is that I do plan to read some Marvel stuff I've had in my collection. Now, granted, I know he's not going to show up probably in this movie because, you know, they're not really going that route. I mean, maybe he will. That would be cool if he did. But I do have some stuff from him that I want to read. I have a masterwork I'm going to read. Obviously, I want to read The Death of Captain Marvel at some point. I've heard a lot of good things about that graphic novel. But picked up this one. Is Genisvel, Captain Marvel. Apparently Genisvel is the son of Captain Marvel. So I'm curious where I'm going to fit this. I believe this is... I mean, this is a more modern series, a more modern retelling of the character, I believe. So I'll probably put this after the Captain Marvel stuff that I have, because kind of just fits chronologically there, I feel like. But this is issues 1 through 5 of the series, written by Peter David, so that's another reason why I bought this. I thought this was a really interesting thing. I believe this was included in the Captain Marvel Omnibus, or maybe there are some other omnibus that came out with this series in it. And I passed on that. I didn't see a need to buy all that Captain Marvel stuff, and you know, just yeah, I didn't really see a need to buy all that, so I just went ahead with the paperback here and picked that up. So really cool to grab that for decent discount online. All right, an Epic collection here that I got for a discounted price on IST because of damage, which I don't really see any real damage on this, to be honest, is Star Wars The Rebellion Volume 5. So I'll be honest, I haven't been keeping up with some of the releases of Epic collections for Star Wars, and that has bit me in the ass a little bit with some of these. I only have volumes 1 and 2 of The Rebellion. Yeah. So I'm missing, obviously, 4, 3, and 4, and then now I have 5. But recently, volume 4 came back in print on IST, and I ordered it, but it's been sitting as waiting for processing for a little bit here, so I hope it's not out of stock. But I went ahead and picked this up anyway because I've been telling myself now, it's like, I might as well buy the ones that are coming out, as they're coming out, or if I can get a good deal for them, like, great, and hope for reprints, which, we have been getting some reprints of the Star Wars Epic collections. I know the Empire has gotten a couple reprints here, so I'm sure the Rebellion reprints won't be too far behind. I mean, Marvel has been really good with reprinting Epic collections. I mean, there's really no excuse to not have an Epic collection that you want nowadays, because they've been reprinting them like crazy like the last couple of years here. So yeah, I mean, some Epic collections are already on their 3rd or 4th printing, which is insane to think about for a book format that's only been around for about 10 years. That's pretty good on Marvel's part to keep that stuff in print for collectors. But yeah, anyways, this collects a bunch of stuff here. We got Star Wars Splinter of the Mind's Eye, which obviously is the same name as the first expanded universe book that came out. And then we have Star Wars Shadow Stalker, Star Wars Rebel Heist 1 through 4, Star Wars A Valentine's Story, Classic Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back numbers 1 through 2, Star Wars Tag and Bink Are Dead number 2, and material from Star Wars Tales numbers 4 through 6, 15 through 17, and 20. So honestly, kind of a hodgepodge of stuff in here. There really is no, I feel like a lot of the stuff is really not representative of like a certain time period for publishing for Star Wars. But one thing that did draw my attention was kind of this classic, let's see if I can pull it up here, pull the cover up. I'm so excited to read this. I know this is a retelling of The Empire Strikes Back, but I think it's a really cool, I'm not sure when this was published either, but you can see here some classic Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back, like 2 issues of that. Some very interesting artwork there. This looks like late 80s kind of. So yeah, really neat here. That's the spine. Thick book too, by the way, but yeah, so hopefully if they reprint volume 3, I'll be able to get that, and obviously if 4 ships from IST, I'll have that, so I'll have 1 through 5 of the Rebellion. I'm missing volume 6 of the Empire, so that's another one that I need to track down, hope for reprint at some point. The New Republic, I have 1 through 3, so just need to build off of there, but yeah, I really do want to get to reading those epics at some point. It's not something I've been putting off. I really want to enjoy it. It's just I have some other books I've been prioritizing, like right now, again, Captain Marvel, and then after that, Captain America in the new year. So that's a big chunk of books that I'm looking to knock off my list. So maybe once the new movies get a release date and we start seeing some trailers for those, I might, start reading some Star Wars again, which would be great. All right, moving on here. Another book I picked up from Amazon because I basically had the whole series and I wanted to finish this off. Excuse me, was Suicide Squad by John Ostrander. This is the volume 4 of the series called The Janus Directive. And again, like I said, this is the last volume I needed to finish off my Suicide Squad collection, which I'm very happy about. This collects issues 26 through 30 of the Suicide Squad series. Checkmate numbers 15 through 18, Manhunter number 14, Firestorm number 86, and Captain Atom number 30. So yeah, at this point, Luke McDonald has left the book, so that's a little disappointing. I do like his artwork, but I feel like the artist that takes over for him does a pretty good job with the same spirit of the art. Um, yeah, just some really fun artwork going on here. I'm really looking forward to reading this. I have read some stuff from John Ostrander. I think he did the Deadshot stuff that I read. If I remember correctly, which makes sense, obviously, because Deadshot was one of the, I guess, characters in the Suicide Squad here. But like I said before, this finishes off my collection of John Ostrander Suicide Squad, which, again, is the only series for Suicide Squad that I'm probably going to care to collect for right now. Just not too crazy into that team, but I've heard this series is really good. And it's crazy, for a long time these books were so hard to find, and I just on a whim, I just went on Amazon one day and I looked for this volume, and sure enough it was going for a decent price. I think I paid $10 for this, and I picked it up. For the longest time they were like really hard to find and super expensive online, so I'm just really happy I got lucky here and got this volume. I'm guessing they probably reprinted some of this stuff, maybe like when the newer Suicide Squad movie came out a couple years ago, but yeah, really neat to get that. All right, and then these last two books here I'm very excited to go over because I was, again, up in Albany shopping around. We went to the Crossgates Mall up there, and we went into Newbury Comics, which is a comics chain that's kind of up near New York area. I've been to a couple of them since I've been, obviously with my fiance and our family and stuff like that. So they were running a sale for all graphic novels, omnibus, manga. Everything was buy one, get one 50% off. So I was like, okay, well, that's a pretty significant deal. Maybe I can get lucky here and find some good deals. And they also mentioned that it did include sales items. So I'm like, okay, well, that obviously means that there's some sales items. So went back to this back area there with the omnibus and stuff like that. And I did find two books that were actually already heavily discounted. And then on top of that, getting the buy one, get one 50% off, I thought was a really great deal. Averaged out amongst both these books, I paid about $45 each for these two books that I'm going to show here, which I think is a really great deal. I mean, that basically is about 60% off for both books. Actually, but maybe even more for some, like this one, I think maybe like closer to 70 or 80% off. So the first book I'm going to show here is the Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man Omnibus Volume 1. Cover price on this was $125. The sticker price was $60, but again, like I said, it got buy one, get one for 50% off. So the total price for these two books came out to $90, which, divide that by two, it's $45 each. So basically I got this book for $45, which I think is an amazing deal. I don't think you're going to find this anywhere else for that price. And, I was really on the fence with this book at first. I didn't really see a need to buy this. I was like, you know what, maybe I could just wait for Epics or, see how it goes, with other collections. Like, I wasn't really, hankering to go out and get Spectacular Spider-Man. I've read some issues here and there. Like, some of the Epics have some Spectacular Spider-Man issues sprinkled in there. But I never read the series proper through. This actually does work out, though. This does come, I think, right before the Stern Omnibus, because basically this collects issues 1 through 42 of the Spectacular Spider-Man, as well as annual number 1, the Amazing Spider-Man annual number 13, and Fantastic Four 218. So, and then Roger Stern's run of Spider-Man also includes some Spectacular Spider-Man issues, which start off at issue 43. So this was purposely made to be this size and to include that many issues, because from this point you can jump right off of this into Roger Stern's Spider-Man run, which I know I put down as I've read it all, but I definitely am sure I've missed some pieces, especially with the Essentials. The Essentials only printed, I believe, the Amazing Spider-Man issues from his run. I don't think I've read his Spectacular Spider-Man stuff, so I'll have to get to that at some point. But regardless, picked this up for a decent price. You can see here the cover roll in the back. Interestingly enough, the cashier, this originally rang up as 80, and she's about to charge me that, and I'm like, well, it actually says 60, so I hated to be that Karen, but you know, at the same time, it did say 60 on the sticker, so I wasn't gonna let myself have to pay an extra $20 for something. So, but yeah, really neat there here. You can see here the cover, the spine, which I absolutely hate. I hate that small handwriting that just bothers, or that small print that really bothers me. I mean, even with the camera showing here, it looks really hard to read. So, but yeah, we'll add this to the collection as well. Definitely am really excited to read that at some point. All right. And the last book I picked up here, again, I was looking for something to get the buy one, get one 50% off, and just could not find anything. And sure enough, I looked up at some of the books that were on display on the shelf that were near the area, and I saw one that immediately piqued my interest and I wanted to grab. And that is The Absolute Wonder Woman by Brian Azzarello and Cliff Chiang. So this is my first Absolute in my collection, I believe. Yes. Yeah, I'm really excited to get this. This was, again, on sale for $50, so I got it for $25. So, I mean, you know, the price of this book was the 50% off book, so 25, but I guess, like you said, average out $45, but still, I mean, that's an insane price. Man, the MSRP for this was $125, which I think is insane for a book this size. It's definitely not worth that much money in my opinion. But yeah, regardless, we got this Absolute here. So took a look online. The second volume is available on IST, but it's like $72, which I definitely don't want to pay that much. So I actually went on Amazon and surprisingly found it for like $25 cheaper. So maybe picking that up at some point. You know, we'll have to see. I mean, I'm not in a huge rush to grab it, but and I know volume 2s normally don't move as fast as volume 1s. So, but yeah, really, really nice book. It's in shrink wrap. I would open it up and show you it, but unfortunately I don't want to break the seal here and show that. But this fits right in between, kind of like the rest of my volume 1 stuff with John Byrne and George Perez. And then obviously this goes right before the Rebirth Wonder Woman. So, yeah, really excited. I love Brian Azzarello. Really like some of his writing. I recently read one of his like smaller book things, like it was a while ago I read it, but it's called Filthy Rich. It's like a little mini like novel book, like digest sized book, which I thought was really good. So read that, I really enjoyed it. But yeah, that is my haul here, 30 minutes later. Just a really, really good bunch of stuff here, some gap fillers in my collection. So yeah, really, really excited, with really hyped to read all the stuff I've picked up here. So that is my Lego haul, or Lego comic haul. So let's go ahead and get into the card section here for haul video 142. Alright guys, welcome into the trading card section here for haul video 142. So don't have too much to go over, but I will show what I picked up. So that same store I went to earlier in Albany, Zombie Planet, again, just want to promote them. They were selling some Pokemon cards up at the front. And like I said before, I've kind of sworn off of booster packs and ETBs at this point. I'm just trying to save my money, honestly, and, you know, spend it on stuff that I know like that has some value with playing with later on down the line. Because like I said before, you know, I'll buy trainer boxes, you know, battle decks, stuff like that, because my fiance and I will play Pokemon cards from time to time. So I went ahead and picked up another EX battle deck that has recently come out, and that is for Chien Pao. I'm really behind on Pokemon cards, as you can tell. This is from Scarlet and Violet, I believe. And again, this is another battle deck. So this has all of the stuff you need to basically start your start battling somebody. So if you get the counterpart to this, which I forget which that is, and again, it's a new Pokemon that I haven't been familiar with yet, you can use these two to fight each other. So really cool. I pay a little bit more for this, but again, supporting a local business, I'm always willing to do that. But this, even with the extra cost of having it in a store, it still was cheaper than what it was climbing up to with some of these other battle decks that we were seeing. Like last year, like the most expensive one I ended up paying for was like $18 or something, and this was only $13. So I think that's a really good deal for this, for a whole deck that you can basically pull out of the box and immediately start playing with. I think that's a good deal. So yeah, really fun to get that, and we'll add this to the collection here. I probably need to make another order for some more trading card sleeves, so I'll make sure to do that at some point. But yeah, this is my Pokemon card haul. Again, not really big, but wanted to show this off here for you guys. So yeah, we're still buying them, you know. Just again, I think at this point with my collecting career, I think I'm just gonna stick to buying the battle decks as they come out, and that's it. I don't think I'm gonna be buying more booster packs or anything like that. If people want to buy me that for like my birthday or Christmas, I'm fine with that, but I'm not gonna spend my money on that. Yeah, just trying to make some cost savings here and there if I can help it. So there's that. But anyways, guys, that's it for the cards here. So let's go ahead and get into the Lego. All right, guys, so welcome into the Lego section here for haul video 142. So did go to the Lego store over in Albany again at the Crossgates Mall, so got some stuff from there. I did pick up some stuff actually at a Barnes & Noble. I'll talk about that. And then I also got a set from Target, so we'll talk about that one at the end here. But starting off with some stuff, I did go also to Target and get one of the minifigure packs here for Disney. So let's go ahead and do a live unboxing here, or unwrapping, and see what we got. Now I do have a couple of these, and I still have not yet to repeat on these, so let's see if I got lucky here. And oh, awesome. Okay, so we did pretty good here. I honestly don't know who this character is. Let's go ahead and put him together here. I don't know who this is. I'm sorry. I don't know who that is. I really don't know who that is. This is really bad. Someone can tell me in the comments, but yeah, we'll go ahead and put him together here. So it looks like he comes with this, and then comes with a little wand. Yeah, a little cane, I guess. So sorry, I'm kind of building this off camera here. You might hear a motorcycle in the background. That's not mine, obviously. Yeah, if someone could tell me who this is. Maybe that looks like the Mad Hatter. I don't know. That's definitely not the Mad Hatter. I don't know who this is, but someone could tell me in the comments. That'd be great. But yeah, these are all part of Disney's 100-year celebration. I guess just to comment a little bit on that. Honestly, the only 100-year celebration set I'm probably looking to get will be that one Flight Over London or whatever, the one from Peter Pan with like the little like vignette set. I definitely want to get that. I know it's $60, but I think it's a pretty good looking set, really good for investing as well. I might consider getting that Walt Disney camera, but honestly, it's probably a set that I'm probably gonna buy with the intent to keep sealed and maybe build once Monica and I move into a bigger place. I just don't have the space for it right now. You know, it's one of those sets where I would feel comfortable buying it and just keeping it sealed for a little bit, just because like I'm not in a huge rush to build it. Like, but it does look like a dope set. I think the Walt Disney minifigure will do good even as a standalone minifigure in resale market. So, but yeah, we got another decent minifigure there, so that's pretty cool. So I went to Lego store while they were still running their Lego VIP days, and did buy a couple things. I did get some promotional things with it, gift with purchases, if you will. I didn't get the highest value stuff, so I missed out on the Blacktron Cruiser and the Tahoe set, which I'm not gonna really cry about because the thresholds for those were $220, which I'm like, for Lego VIP week, like really you couldn't lower it to like 150, like at least 150, like 220 is insane. And I was like, I can't imagine dropping that much money at the Lego store at one time, but obviously people continue to do so, and that's why Lego does it, so whatever. But I did get some promos things, which I thought was kind of cool. They did give me this as a thank you for being a VIP person, so great to see that. You know, freaking blue minifigure with a little thing on the end here. Honestly, really lame in my opinion, but whatever. A very basic thing. Got another one of these, the Fun and Funky VIP add-on pack. This was my gift with purchase. Ooh, so nice. Yeah, I have absolutely no interest in opening this. So we'll keep this sealed, and honestly, this is one of those sets where it's more expensive, it's more valuable sealed than opened, obviously. That's how most things are, but for this, I just don't see any need to open this up at all. So we'll keep that sealed for a rainy day. When I was at Barnes & Noble, I did spot a poly bag, a new poly bag that I did not have. So as you guys know, I do have now a pretty extensive collection of Lego poly bags that I've been keeping sealed. So hopefully maybe resell one day for twice the amount of money I paid for them, which would honestly be good. But right now they're kind of stored in bins in my parents' house because there's so many of them, I have to keep them kind of sealed and away from dust and stuff like that. But picked up the Creator here, the birthday train, you know, so another train set here. Nothing too insane with this one, but some decent colors and nice little design there. So went ahead and picked up 2 of those. One to build, one to keep sealed, obviously. So there's that. And then the main things I did buy at the Lego store to get me to that threshold for the promos. First one I picked up here was a brick head that I was actually really looking forward to getting. And I think when it originally came out, it was like out of stock at all Lego stores I went to. So really fun to get this finally, and that is the Wally and Eve dual brick head set, which I think is really cute. There's a lot of brickheads coming out right now, and I'm very selective on the ones I get now. There was a time where I was buying pretty much like every brickhead that ever came out, even if it was for themes that I didn't really like that much, like pets. I bought all the pets brickheads, and I'm like, why did I spend my money on all these? Like, I don't really like them. I don't want to display them, so why did I buy them? But now, you know, I'm kind of just being more selective on which ones I pick up. So really thought this one was cute. My fiance really likes this too, so maybe we'll build this one together. It's been a while since we built a set together, so maybe I can convince her to build this with me. We'll see. But you can see here the back. Really fun build there. And for somebody like myself who missed out on the Lego Ideas Wally set from a while back now at this point, it's really nice to get that kind of like a miniature version of him. So without having to break the bank, obviously. Next set I bought here, I actually bought 2 of these just because they were on sale, and it's really insane to me that these are on sale because these just came out maybe like a month or 2 ago, and they're already like, I mean, they're already heavily discounted. Like, they're already discounted like more than 20% off. Like, the set I'm talking about here is the Lego Disney 100 brickheads here with Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, Mickey, Snow White, and Tinkerbell. So again, I bought 2 of these, one to keep sealed, one to open up and build here. Yeah, maybe it being on sale is a bad sign, a red flag that it's not going to do well in retirement. But you know, it has that Disney 100 logo on it. It's has some classic characters here. That Mickey is, you know, obviously it's been a while since they've made a Lego brickhead for Mickey, so I think this is a really good jumping on point for a lot of people who don't want to spend all that money on the aftermarket for the other Mickey brickhead that came out. That is the Steamboat Willie Mickey, by the way. So I don't know. I mean, I think it's a decent set. If anything, I saved a good amount of money on it anyway, so I can just, I'm pretty sure I can sell for, at least what I originally went for if I have to resell the other one. But yeah, really need to pick that up. I was kind of walking around aimlessly, like I wanted to buy something at the Lego store, right? And I found those, and I'm like, yeah, let's go ahead and pick 2 of these up so I can put one away for investment. But honestly, the most hype set that I have here in my haul for today is the last one that I have. And this one was on sale for 20% off on Target.com. And at the time that I bought this was during the Target Circle Week, which has since ended. Basically, Amazon's answer, or Target's answer to Amazon's Prime Day deals. So not a lot of Lego deals, honestly, that week, but one that did stick out to me is this one, and that is the Lego Star-Lord helmet. So originally when this set was revealed, it was originally going to retail for $80, which I thought was insane. It's just crazy how much money these helmet sets are becoming now. Like behind me, I have the Venom and the Carnage ones, which both went for $60 at the time. Not even 2 years ago. And now we're already up to $80 for these helmet sets, which I think is ridiculous. I mean, not even the Star Wars helmets that are readily available now are that much money. The Commander Cody, Commander Rex, Captain Rex, and the Boosh helmet, they're all $70 across the board. I have no idea why this is $80. You can make the argument that this is a smaller set than them, like piece count wise, just overall like footprint wise, this is a smaller set. I don't know why this is $80. I mean, and obviously that's why this set was on sale on Target.com, because obviously people weren't paying the price for it. And I'm seeing that I'm gonna go on a little rant here, but I'm seeing that a lot more now with Lego. Like Lego is testing the market with all these really, really overpriced sets, like the Hulkbuster UCS set, the Black Panther bust, the foosball table, and like nobody is buying them. Nobody's buying them at the price that they're starting it off with. Like the Hulkbuster set was $550. The Black Panther bust was $350. The foosball set was $250, and all of those sets have seen very, very like quick and hefty discounts on Lego.com, not like on other markets, like on the primary seller of the item. I mean, like I told my fiance, because we saw it at the Lego store, the Black Panther bust has been 40% off for like 8-9 months now. You don't see that with Lego sets, and if they're doing that, there's a reason for it, and it's because they're not selling it. Like they are sitting on inventory that they cannot move because people do not want to pay $350 for a Black Panther bust. So, again, I know Lego's probably heard this many times before, but their consumers are smarter than they think, and it's kind of insulting. I've said this before on this channel, but it's really insulting when you take a set like this, which is objectively a lesser value than the other helmet sets, and you price it $10 more. I mean, where do we draw the line, right? And someone like myself, who's a smart consumer, is going to wait for that eventual sale, because I know that eventually, they're going to have to lower the price to move the product, to get rid of the inventory, to move on to another item. So, I hope Lego learns a lesson here that, they obviously need to reevaluate their pricing and price point things that make sense. Like it just, that's why I waited. So I got it for $64, which is the closest I'm going to get to that original price of what that price should be. So there's that. But anyway, mini rant aside, that is my Lego haul here. So let's go ahead and get into the outro for this video. All right, guys. So that is my haul for this week. And again, just really fun to get away this past weekend and be with my fiance and just enjoy our time together. It was very relaxing, and obviously I hope everyone out there who's watching these videos has spend some time this summer with their friends and family. It's always great to collect all these things and, you know, read all these books and build all these sets. But, you know, it really comes down to it. It's really nice to just spend time with people. You know, obviously a lot has happened in my life in the last year or so, even more recently than that. That has kind of given me a different outlook on life. But yeah, really fun to get all this stuff, but obviously more importantly, really nice to spend time with the people I love the most. So that's a little, I know it's a little corny way to end this video here, but I hope you guys had a great rest of your week here, and I will catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.